Hello and welcome to the Fallout feed. I'm Andrew, and this week I will be walking you through a little bit of Fallout Nuka World DLC listener feedback that we have received over here. You can contact the show at thefalloutfeed@gmail.com and submit us some listener feedback just like these fine young people did, and we will get you guys live and on the show because I know that's everybody's top dream. Anyway, this is number 47 of the Fallout feed. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. I am hosting solo this week. Kara has started school back up, so we wish her luck in her new endeavor of busting through another. It's not a new endeavor. Getting through another semester. We wish you luck, Kara. So hopefully she whoops its ass. And Pat and Dennis will join us again very, very soon, I guarantee. But we did get some listener feedback from Harlan Meeks. He is also a fellow Hoosier. I am from the great state of Indiana. And Harlan also from the great state of Indiana up there in Fort Wayne, I believe. And my wife and I vacation up in northern Indiana on the lakes. And sometimes we get down to Fort Wayne to go to the children's zoo and take our son over there. It's very fun. So shout out to Harlan. Thanks for writing in. And actually, we'll just go ahead and roll right into Harlan's thoughts. And I'll try to jot down some notes and maybe spit some stuff back at you at the end here. But I will also give my thoughts on Nuka World. So far, granted, I'm very, very, very new into Nuka World. I have not gotten very far at all. So you will not get many spoilers from me. I cannot guarantee that the feedback you're about to listen to will not be spoilerific, though. So please, if you have any qualms with spoilers at this point for Nuka World, this will probably be a few weeks released a few weeks after Nuka World came out. So we shouldn't have a ton of dangerous spoilers. But if you are against spoilers of any kind, you might want to skip past this episode for now and join us on a future episode of the Fallout feed. We are very careful about stating spoilers if they will be in the episode. So if we do not say that there's spoilers at the beginning of an episode, you can feel free to run right through and listen with reckless abandon, because that's what everyone does, is listen with reckless abandon. And all you smart people out there, listen with your seatbelts on. So we'll go on that note and see if we can find some feedback here from Harlan. Let's see if I can open up the right folder here. And here we go. Harlan actually did his own podcast. I will have to remind myself what it is titled, but I have Harlan's feedback queued up here. Actually, I just downloaded his podcast. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I'll give a shout out to that. Low Watt Living Podcast, like low watt as in wattage, WATT, low LOW watt WATT living podcast. So everyone go check that out. I'm pretty sure I downloaded a few episodes. I'm going to try to give them a listen here. But I think it's a very practical stuff like solar power and battery power and running your house on maybe alternative power and stuff. So this could be a really cool thing, and especially apt for those of us who are trying to prepare ourselves for life after the grid and surviving the apocalypse. So Low Watt Living Podcast, please check it out. And without further ado, we'll get into some feedback from Mr. Harlan Mix here. Oh, audio production. Listen to this.
Hello, everyone, and my name is Harlan Meeks, and Andrew asked if I would send in my thoughts on the new Fallout 4 DLC, Nuka-Cola World. So here we go. Okay, Nuka-Cola World, the last DLC of what is a very good game and a pretty good run of DLCs, to tell you the truth. Is it my favorite? No, but I will get into that later. But it is my second favorite of all the DLCs. First of all, the number one DLC for me is the Mechanist. And the reason why is because my companion is Ada, I think is her name, a robot. And so that's who I've been using since the Mechanist came out. And she is a powerhouse with Gatling lasers. She has an unstable Gatling laser on one side, unstable minigun, explosive minigun on the other. She carries all my stuff for me, so I'm never over encumbered. Well, let's not say never, especially after this new DLC, but I'm hardly ever over encumbered. She annihilates everything. Pretty much everything goes after her and leaves me alone. Anyway, I can change her from being my lockpick expert to a sentry bot to whatever I want. And after this DLC, the Nuka-Cola world, I actually bumped up my lockpick to expert because you kind of have to, or the game's just not. It's almost unplayable unless you can pick locks. Okay, on to Nuka-Cola world. There is the 5 boroughs of New York. I mean, Nuka-Cola world. Wow, do that on purpose. There's Kitty Kingdom, Safari Adventure, Dry Rock Gulch, Galactic Zone, and Nuka-Cola, or the Nuka World's bottling plant. All right, the Nuka World bottling plant. I had a good time going through there. It's not as big as I wish it would be, but I actually had fun going through there. I like the whole river of Nuka-Cola Quantum, and there's a really awesome set of power armor in there. Since this is a spoiler cast or whatever it is right now, the Nuka-Cola brand power armor gives you +3 to your agility when all the pieces are equipped, which is awesome because my agility was already at 13. So put this on, I'm bumped up to 16. I don't wear it very often. It's more of my display case at Sanctuary along with my Vim and all my other ones. Galactic Zone. It was all right. It wasn't my favorite. I liked battling the robots because I use energy weapons from a distance. So it's easy to battle robots. And I got some good scrap from them. Dry Rock Gulch. I didn't care for it. To be honest, I don't really like Western sort of things. And my charisma's pretty high. So I just used the speech challenge and got in and out of there as fast as I could. Plus those damn bloodworms in there. I always hated the movie Tremors. Oh, I mean, I liked it, but it freaked me out. So these bloodworms, I don't like them. Safari Adventure was probably my favorite. I liked fighting the gators and being hunted by the gators. I thought that was really good. The way they started that mission with a Tarzan type of guy. I didn't like that, but the actual gameplay was really good. Him and his companion didn't really help me much, but me and Ada kind of wiped out everything. But it was fun. Plus, the weapon you get at the end of that is pretty dang cool. Kitty Kingdom. I didn't like Far Harbor because of not so much the radiation, but because I like to shoot things from a distance. And Far Harbor is really hilly, and then you go down into the marsh, and it's really hard to get around. If you have power armor, you can try to fly over stuff, but there it's kind of tough because you get into the water and everything. And I would found myself throwing a lot of grenades to see if there's something in the water, or just using my power armor with the helmet modification that shows me living creatures, which will show me the stuff, whatever those things are, not the gulpers, whatever the ones are underwater. It's in the back of my head screaming. But that was the easiest way to find enemies in that DLC. I just didn't like it, how dark and stuff it was. Plus, the radiation was insane. Until you get to Kitty Kingdom, where the radiation is really insane. I wasn't wearing power armor the first time I went through there, and it was crazy. I was popping Rad-X and Rad-Away like it was candy. And here I am with 0 radiation resistance going through this mist of horrible, nasty radiation. And I finished the game without power armor, but I did go back with the power armor. And man, was it so much easier to just jetpack over a lot of things in the Kitty Kingdom. You do get a really good weapon at the end of that as well, which I will get to. Still, I think Kitty Kingdom was probably my second favorite area, even with the radiation. Um, I just like the fun house and that sort of aspect of things. And the main enemy in that was pretty cool. I liked how they did that one. That was much better done than most of the rest of the storyline. Really. Okay, my something I want to talk about. You know how they had the mechanist? I think they should in this freaking kingdom they should have the tool list. It's a guy that goes around and locks all the toolboxes ahead of you. Because in the main Fallout 4 game, you'd find a toolbox, and for me, it seemed like 90% of them were unlocked. Only 10% of them were locked. In the new DLC, 90% of them are locked, and 10% of them are unlocked. It's crazy. And so they should have a tool list. It's a guy that goes around and locks these tool chests before you get there. Man, it was it's almost unplayable if you don't have lockpick. It really is. The game is almost unplayable in the new DLC. So I didn't have any lockpick skills whatsoever. I had my robot do it, but she's not 100% on any of the locks. So I had to bump mine up, and I went up a couple levels anyway. So that's what I did. I also focused on strong back while I was in there. All right, the weapons that I got going through the game. I'll go through some of those. The Hub's Alien Blaster, which looks very similar to the Alien Blaster you get in the game, the original Fallout 4 game, except for it, critical shots do double damage, and the crit meter fills up 15% faster, which I think this is also the modification that is on the rifle you get from Dance, if I'm not mistaken, from the Brotherhood of Steel mission. Ceto's Shiny Slugger. It's a bat that has jets on it. And that thing's really cool. I'm not a melee type of character, but this bat is awesome looking. I don't like it as much as I do the megaton sledgehammer thing that does radiation damage, but it's pretty cool. It does. It refills. Hold on, I'm scrolling here. It refills your action points on a critical hit, which is pretty good too, because a lot of the weapons, the melee weapons, don't use as much action points as guns do, depending on the weapon, of course. Okay, my third weapon I'm going to talk about, the Kami Whacker, which is basically a whack-a-mole club that really doesn't do much. Sword of Wonders has electric and serrated blade. It ignores 30% of the target's damage and energy resistance. Like I said, I'm not really much of a melee character, but if I was, I would use this, because 30% of a target's damage and energy resistance, that's crazy. Okay, and that's the weapon you get at the end of the Kitty Kingdom if you pass the speech check. I don't know if you can kill him and get it as well, but I know I got it from doing the speech check. Okay, the Thirst Zappers. I got two of these. This is the gun that you use to defeat the overboss at the beginning. Just shoots out water. Next, the Wounding Harpoon Gun. I'm not sure if I got this from a boss or not, but the target bleeds for 25 points of additional damage. Now, I didn't use the Harpoon Gun in the Far Harbor mission, but with this 25 points of bleed damage, I might start using it. Okay, and the last weapon I've got so far from the DLC is the Problem Solver. It's a rifle that increases damage after each consecutive hit on the same target. I got this with another speech check or speech challenge. I don't remember what those things are called. To one of the raider, the head of the raider, one of the raider factions. And I played with this around with this gun for a while, and it was kind of fun, but it's just not. It's not my thing. It's kind of like a better version of the spray and pray, but I never really played with the spray and pray after, I don't know, level 20 anyway. So I also have the Nuka Cola tickets. I have 7,161. The tokens I have 809. I have 10 different Nuka recipes. To be honest, I wasn't really looking for them, but I just found them along, the mission line. I got Nuka Berry, Cooler, Elixir, Love, Power, Ray, Rush, Sunshine, or Sunrise, Void, and Extreme. I don't know how many there are, but those are the ones I have. I will probably go back now and try to find the rest of them. If you're worried about the whole ticket situation, like I said, I have 7,161, and I've only played 4 games. I think I played each game once. You find rolls of tickets that are like 800 and some tickets per roll, and I found 4 rolls, I think. 4 rolls, and then the other tickets are just what I found laying around or in trash cans. So something I'm probably not going to get is the acider. I think it's called the acid shooter or acider that you can get with the tickets. But I watched some videos about that, and it seems kind of pointless to get. Now I finished the Nuka World DLC twice, or in 2 different ways. I finished it where I killed all the heads of the factions, the Raider factions, and I did the one where I followed through with one of the Raider factions all the way through to turning on the power and everything else in the Nuka World. And I guess because I wanted to get both achievements for that, and I wanted to see how the different outcomes on those 2 were, because they're so radically different. And I prefer keeping the Raiders around. My character is kind of a nice guy, so it's kind of out of his realm, but it's so empty without the Raiders there. All you have are slaves sweeping up around the place. I mean, I don't know if maybe later on as I do other missions that'll change, but right now I just killed head of the faction, killed all the Raiders, and it's a ghost town in there, which is one of the reasons I like Nuka World, because it was so packed full of people. And on the Far Harbor, I think they said it was a bigger map, but it was so sparse. I mean, it was a long distance between things. In Nuka World, it might be a smaller map, but you have a huge city, which is many times bigger than Diamond City and has more people than Diamond City. It is huge. And I like the fact of a part of the Fallout series having a huge city with tons of people in it. And now they're just not there. So, and that's the one I did. I did that one last. So I think I'm going to go ahead and reload my save of the one where I went through one of the factions, and I chose the operators. And I don't know. I know after I took over my first settlement back in the Commonwealth, or not, is that the Commonwealth? That's 3. In the Wasteland, excuse me. Preston Garvey wouldn't talk to me anymore, but I never really liked that guy anyway. So, and to tell you the truth, on this run through of the game, I haven't even beaten the main quest, the main storyline of the original Fallout 4. I've beaten it, I think, a couple times on other saves, but in this one, I haven't even found my son or any of that stuff yet. So that's kind of fun. I think I'm going to go back and do that now. But this character I designed this character to go into Far Harbor, Mechanist, and Nuka Cola World. I didn't design this character to go through the other part of the game, which I have a save for that. But anyway, now I'm just rambling on. Nuka Cola World. Is it my favorite DLC? No. But you know why? Because I like to have a robot. If I didn't have a robot, if Mechanist wasn't on the table and I couldn't have a robot companion, would it be my favorite DLC? Yes, it definitely would. It's something totally out of the realm of what they've done before, and it's kind of fun. It makes you think of what Disney World would be if you've ever been to Disney World. It's if it would be run down and tore up. This is what it would look like. So your imagination, just your brain, just kind of explodes when you start thinking of, wow, this is the same thing. This is what it would look like. It would look this run down, this degraded. This is great. They did a really good job on it. You could tell they put effort into it. I hate it when a company brings out DLC and they don't put the effort in it, and you can tell. I don't know, but this one, they put some effort into it, and the storyline is good, and I like the different. I don't like the fact that you need to have the lockpick skill up so high. I wish there was a way you could not do that. Like I said, the game's almost unplayable unless you have the lockpick skill. But remember, this is also for people who are level 30 or above. So I think by the time you're 30, normally you put some points in locksmith. But like I said, I had a reason not to, because you have a follower. What is it? Kate? Is Kate the one that does locksmithing or lockpick? I think so. But if you have a follower that does the lockpick and you don't, you need lockpick before you go there. You need lockpick. You need some kind of radiation resistance, because I'm at 0. So you need some kind of radiation resistance. Power armor will work. Other than that, you really don't need to bring anything. The pre-war money that I worried that I need to have a lot of, you find it's everywhere there. The pre-war money is everywhere. Think about it. It's an amusement park. Pre-war money is everywhere. Tokens and tickets. Well, tokens and tickets. You find those everywhere as well. So have fun, guys. It's an awesome ending. In my opinion, it's an awesome ending to a really, really great game. And I look forward to seeing what they're going to do next for the Fallout series. I know we got a long, long road and a long wait ahead of us, but if it's anything like what they've pulled out of their hat with this one, it's going to be worth the wait. This is Harlan Meeks, and I'll talk to you later, guys.
Hey, that was great, Harlan. Thank you so much for writing into the show. And can you guys hear that? I'm going to be silent for just a second. It's like I'm doing stand-up comedy down here in my basement to this one single solo cricket that's off in the background. I'm just going to be quiet to see if you can hear him for just a second here. And yeah, that's hilarious. That I hope you heard that cricket off there in the background. That's great. Thank you so much, Mr. Cricket, for your commentary on Harlan's commentary. No, I'm just kidding, of course. Harlan, that was great. Thank you so much for writing in. I have a couple of scribbled things down here. Yeah, spoiler alert, everyone, by the way. Goosh. There's lots of stuff going on in here. Ada can lockpick. I didn't know that. I knew that you could add lockpicks to a robot, but this is a question I had. Is that always possible, or is lockpicking a mod that you have to pick up? The same with hacking. Is like the hacking possibility stuff that you pick up while you're out and about fighting robots and rust devils and stuff? Are those mods that you pick up, or is this just something you add that's always possible in the robot workshop? That's something I was not sure about. That's an interesting observation as well, Harlan. The 5 boroughs of New York City are Nuka world. That's interesting thought there. Bloodworms from Tremors. I also had that observation. I think that was kind of a character, not character, but a monster design similarity that I think their mouths open in a similar fashion. I don't know if the sandworms from Fallout here have the little mouth inside of the mouth thing, like that the worms had in Tremors and in Aliens or Alien, whichever. They both did it. So yeah, you didn't like Far Harbor, which baffles me because I love Far Harbor. Oh, Far Harbor, so good. But if you're a sniper, I can see where that would be annoying because there's too many trees, too many hills, lots of stuff to get in your way. So no really nice, long, easy, clean shots to take. There's a cool power armor. That's good to know. I bet you it's a Nuka-Cola power armor. And Pat was saying that we're gonna get a Vim power armor versus Nuka-Cola power armor. Big fight down. Ooh, hey, can someone set that up in the what was the DLC, the building DLC where you could set up arenas and make animals and people and stuff fight each other? You should do that, somebody, and send us in the video footage of Vim Power Armor versus Nuka Cola Power Armor. That's super badass. I would totally throw down on that. Oh, I'm interested in gators. That's fucking cool that there's gators in this power and this power armor in this DLC. You want to start something called the tool list and lock the toolboxes. That was funny. I got a little chuckle out of the tool list. So there's an alien blaster weapon that sounds awesome. The commie whacker, that sounded cool. The bat with jets like the super sledge, that sounds really fucking great too, man. I'm pretty into that. The sword of I can't even read my own handwriting. Sword. It's not sword of words, but so you said there was some cool sword that ignores 30% of damage and energy resistance. That's awesome. I would totally nail that. I'm doing. My roundtable character now has a really high agility and super high sneak, and my I can get like, I don't know, 12 swipes with my sword that I have because it's a VATS enhanced 40% or something like that, a Chinese officer sword, and it's really great to just sneak up because I get like a super big bonus on sneak because I have got like Mr. Sandman and Ninja and sneak and this and that, and it compounds, and I demolish stuff when I'm in sneak mode. It's fucking sweet. But good swords, I'm always looking out for those. Yeah, Thirst Zapper, that's cool. That's a child's toy you use to get through one of the harder parts of the very first to get into Nuka World. There you need one of the Thirst Zappers, but he said there's another one, so I'll keep my eye out for that. That's awesome. Nuka tickets and tokens you find all over the place. He's found 10 recipes. He needs to find some more recipes. I'm interested in that. I found a couple of different flavors that I'm interested in. There's grape, I know, and then there's a couple other like powerful looking ones too, sort of like a quantum, but of different varieties maybe. You have to turn on the power to the park, I guess, and then maybe you're rewarded with a settlement. Then at that point, that stinks. I was hoping that there'd be a settlement that you could get right away. You can get a raider bed and maybe some storage and stuff at some point there, pretty early on. But I think there's a Red Rocket gas station I heard from someone at one point. But yeah, so he says Automatron is his favorite DLC because of the robots. And that is fucking cool because I've never heard anyone say that Automatron was their favorite. And I think people give Automatron a hard time, and I think that it is every bit as good as the vanilla game, the regular storyline. I think Far Harbor storyline is even better than the mainland Commonwealth storyline. But I think Automatron just fits right in there with the normal storyline. I like the Mechanist story and stuff. That's really cool. And I love the robot bands that just are roaming the Commonwealth now that'll attack me. I do wish that they would get on a boat and go over to Far Harbor so I could fight some robots in Far Harbor and get some robot mods and my robot workbench and stuff going over there. That is something that I do wish that would be cool. But yeah, kudos, man, for voting for Automatron. And you said that you could tell that they put effort into the DLC, and that is awesome. I really like you said how you like how it was populated, and the park itself had the good feeling to it. I couldn't agree more. Just I am barely into it at all. And again, this will probably air a few weeks after I'm recording this, so I'll be much further into it by the time this actually airs. But it is really awesome so far. The atmosphere is just fucking creepy. The raiders are horrible. I hate raiders. That's going to be my only problem with this, as when you're in the end, you get to win control of, you get to control raiders. You get to be like some head honcho raider guy. I don't want to be a head honcho raider guy. This sounds horrible to me. So I wish that they were like, I don't know, maybe Yao Guai or something. I wish I could be Bear Master or something like that. Andrew, King of the Bears. So next up, we have some feedback from Brianna, and thanks, Brianna, for sending in your thoughts as well. She wrote a long blog post and then did sort of a podcast her own self, and then sent it over to us. And I told her that we would go ahead and air it on the show. She sent it over. So, Brianna, thank you so much for sending in your thoughts to the show, and we will go ahead and roll with Brianna here and see what she has to say about Nuka World.
Well, hello from Nuka World. Fallout 4's new DLC, Nuka World, is officially out. So I was one of the few that was chosen to do beta testing for this new DLC.
Sorry about that. I forgot to mention Brianna had the beta testing for this new DLC. So she's had it for a good long while. So she has lots of thoughts on it. I know that Harlan had completed it. I'm not sure Brianna has completed it or not. Again, I'm I'm not into it at all. But that's really cool that Brianna got chose for beta. I've signed up for every beta possible, and I haven't gotten into any. So she's awesome, and good luck. And again, we'll get back to your thoughts. Sorry for the interruption. I'll try to shut my face up now.
Anyways, I'm going to talk to you about my experiences with Nuka World. From what little bit that was shown by the developers on their Twitch stream, they let you know that to get to Nuka World, a quest line comes up if you're level 30 on Wild. And then that's when you go to the train station to get to Nuka World. So at the train station, you will meet some Thanos, and after you kill them all, then you go into the train station, and you come across this guy named Harvey. He basically sits there and tells you this whole story about how these raiders have captured his family, and they're making him lure people in to Nuka World, or if you don't do it, they will kill his family. So, yeah. After you get done having some conversation with him, you get off the train to Nuka World. And after coming to Nuka World, you're stuck having to do this gauntlet. So, yeah. When I first started, I was level 75, and yeah, it was pretty a little bit hard for me. Yeah, so imagine if you're a level 30, yeah, you need to bring lots of ammo and lots of steam packs and other health items. That way, make sure you don't die. So we come toward the end of the gauntlet. This guy named Gage, he helps you out in defeating the overboss, Culture. So Gage tells you, he's like, oh, go find this gun, and it's the thirst zapper. It's the water gun. So after uh killing Culture, you become the new overboss of Nuka World. And that's when after doing that, I gotta check out my new little digs in the top of Nuka World, called this Grill. Yes, the top of the mountain in the center of Nuka World. So after that, I went and talked to the leaders of the 3 different games. The games are Disciples, Operators, and the Pack. Now, my impressions from the 3 different games is the Disciples are more they're like okay game, but they're like more into like the fighting, and they like to torture the people. Well, like the operators are kind of like cool and stuff. They seem to be more interested in like just making caps and just a regular fighting type raiding stuff that raiders usually do. And then there's like the pack. It's like, yeah, the pack is like a little weird to me because they seem like they want to be dressing up as animals, and their little area in Nickel Town is like the zoo part, and they like to basically keep animals in cages and like pit the animals against each other and all that. So yeah, but, yeah, let me stay away from them because it's like, yeah, I don't like all that animal cruelty, and they're just kind of weird with how they're dressing up as like animals and all that. Um, basically the whole point of Nickel World is go to the different like areas of the park and clear them out and claim them for like whatever game you want to take over that area. And if you don't want to go that route, there's like an alternative quest thing to kill the leaders of the games. So, but like if you start killing like the leaders, apparently like the other leaders like yeah kind of turn on you. So first I went to Galactic Zone. This is where like you get the robots, and they're like the little enemies of the area. So part of the Galactic Zone is you have to sit there and find these things called star cores. Like there's like 35 of them all throughout the park, and you need like 20 of them to fix the mainframe, and then to get all 35 of them, that's when you get this X01 power armor that's actually in the Galactic Zone that's sealed up till you actually get all 35. So, let's see. Also, you need to power up Nuka World to get the last star core that's in the whole entire park, because in the last one is in the Galactic Zone, like on the second level up, that's above where you have to fix the mainframe. But to get to it, you have to take the elevator, and the elevator is out because of the lack of power to the park and all that. So after clearing out the Galactic Zone, I gave it to the disciples. Yeah, I didn't. Oh, for that, I meant to give it to the operators because, like, I like them better. And for some reason, like, I like kind of mixed up disciples and operators. Yeah, mind you, this like the first like hour or two of like playing, and yeah, I wasn't sure who was who. But yeah, so come to find out though, that once you give a certain area to the one game, yeah, to one game, you can't like sit there and change it to like another game, which is like, yeah, which sucks in a way. I don't know if it was just a bug to do or they meant to make it like that to just do it. So yeah, so it's probably better make sure you know which game you want to give what part of the Nuka World to. And then next I went to Dry Rock. What's it? Dry Rock Lynch. I don't know, the place where they have all these like little tremor looking things, which they call bloodworms. Yeah, bloodworms. And they have some little flying bugs and big ants too, as well. So basically, you have to sit there and clear that area out of all the little bugs and tremors and all that. And they also had a queen bloodworm. And yeah, that was expected to be one thing, but it's not. After clearing that area out, I gave it to the operators. Then I did some traveling around the park, and I met with these apologists who believed in UFOs. To me, they kind of sounded like the Scientologists of Nuka World. So they sit there and they want Dana. She wants these 5 like astronaut suits that you can find in the galactic zone. So once you have those 5 astronaut suits, go back, give it to Dana, and she and the rest of the little apologists take you to the junkyard where you fight some robots and some more bugs and all that good little stuff. And then after you're done with that, go to then Dana. She asks for 3 fusion cores to power up this UFO ride thing, and you can either you go to this fuse box and you can either put in 3 or 4 fusion cores. It depends upon how much you put in there, get like a different result. And I put in 4 of them, and let's just say, yeah, you kill them by doing that. It's kind of weird how, yeah, how they die, but and I never found out what happens if you get 3 because I didn't say before I put in the fusion cores. So yeah. After dealing with the biologist, I did some more exploring around the local world, and I even did a couple of quests for the raiders. Like I think one for the disciples and a couple for the operators. And for those, like, yeah, they want you to go back into the Commonwealth. And it's mostly like uh killing super mutants or placing a collar on them, or just like sitting there rendezvousing with like a little group of raiders and getting some supplies. Where you sit there and kill some like gunners or other raiders or like whoever. So after I did that, went to the Nuka. I went back to Nuka World and got into the Nuka Cave where they have all those games there. And like throughout the park, they have like a whole bunch of tickets and tokens and free war money that you can sit there and use in Nuka Cave. And they have like different prizes and stuff. Um, I managed to get a paddle ball, and I modded it to be electrified. Yeah, electrified. But I haven't tested it out yet. Um, let's see. Um, then I went to Kitty Kingdom. Well, they have these misters that shoot out like radiation. So like bring like a lot of medics and that away with you. And they have ghouls that are painted. So yeah, you get to deal with ghouls in Kitty Kingdom. And they have this one ghoul. He is Oswald. He does this magic stuff. And with that, I think I came across a bug or something, or I did something that I wasn't supposed to do. Cause at first I went into the theater, which I guess is like okay or whatever. Go with the first time, and sit there and like talk his little thing, and he does like a little couple magic tricks, and then you like fight him, and then like when you think that you got him killed, he like disappears, and then it's like you're supposed to go to the couple other places like the funhouse and the tunnels. So I went to the funhouse, and after clearing that out, I had went back into the theater, which I'm probably thinking that I should have done that, maybe. But I went back and I fought him again because he was doing the same little bit that he was doing like the first time I went in there. And like, yeah, I shot him like, me it seemed like I killed him, or pretty much almost killed him a couple times. But then it's like I just left out of there, and then like at that point, it's like I just left Kitty Kingdom alone for a while, and I went to the Safari. I'm gonna call it Safari Zone. You know, it's probably Safari whatever else. But there you get to help this Kaito. You beat these monsters that they call Gator Claws. So yeah. So it's like basically these big alligators. It's almost, yeah. I want to say though as hard as the death clause, but almost. But this Kaito, he reminds me of kind of like a ah mix of Tarzan and Clem from the Vortex DLC, and his family is gorillas. Yeah, so that was fun. And then after clearing out the Safari Stone, I gave it to the operators. But yeah, Kaito, he was kind of funny doing it. He was like, it's like Kaito likes new friends. Kaito gets to make new friends. It's funny how he seemed all happy about making new friends and all that. Let's see. Then I went to the World of Refreshments area. This is where they have the blue river of quantum when you do it. And here is what they have Mylux, which they call Influx here. And some assault charms. So you have to sit there and clear out the inside of the building and the outside of the building before you can claim it. So again, and let's just say, yeah, when you do the outside, yeah, you're gonna be like surprised to see what's there. Cause when I seen it come up, I was like, oh my god. I was probably so crying because it's found out I had all these Nuka looks and Nuka look hunters and like a Nuka look teams, and now I couldn't come and get me. Yes, they had a Nuka look queen coming out. I was crying. And that's when I started to want to cry, and I was like, oh my god, how am I going to do that? So yeah, I managed to kill him. Oh, so, and then I gave the world of refreshments to the operators. So after that, I went to Kitty Kingdom again, and I think that's when I went searching through the tunnels, and then I went back to the theater, and that's why I'm basically stuck at now because I can't find that Oswald guy in the theater, even though like in the quest line for the Kitty Kingdom, it's like has all the little sections marked, and it's in there making sound like, oh, it's like I have to go find Oswald back in the Kitty Court, which is like the theater. I was like, so I'm sitting here looking for him, and I can't find him. And there is this elevator that's in the theater, but it's not working. It says it's inaccessible, which is like different from like usual, like, oh, the power's out in the world, you need to turn it back on. So basically, I'm stuck with Kitty Kingdom and claiming it, and that's like my last little area of the park I have to claim for one of the games. So from what I have seen in the form, on Bethesda um from the other beta testers. It's like I'm guessing they sit down and like after you claim like all of the bulk, that's when you go to the Commonwealth and then start your little raiding the different settlements and all that stuff. So yeah, till I get that pulp fixed with the Kitty Kingdom, it's like yeah, I'm kind of stuck. And guess after that, I think after you claim 3 different settlements in the Commonwealth, that's when supposedly a quest comes up to turn on the power for Nuka World. But I have seen some people say that if you go to the power plant, there was this way to kind of turn on the power without the quest or whatever. And I went to the power plant, and yeah, sadly, no, it didn't work for me. So, some way I'm gonna have to find a quest to make it to where I can turn on the power. Because when I went to the power plant, turn it on, to press the button to turn on the power, it was locked and you had to get a key. And it's like, I don't know where the key is, but they do have like this window by the button that you have to press, and there's like this ledge. And if you like jump on the ledge by the window, you can press the button to turn it on from like the window basically. And yeah, I tried it that way and it's like, yeah, that'll work. And supposedly another way to get the quest to turn on the power if you don't do the what's it, 3 outposts in the settlement in the Commonwealth is if you sit there and kill the leaders of the games, or at least one of them. That's when supposedly the power plant quest comes up. But it's like if you kill one of them, supposedly the other leaders and games will sit there and like basically hate you type of thing. I don't know. Like I don't want to kill the I don't want to kill any of the leaders, whatever. Even though it would be nice to kill the pack leader, but I don't want the other 2 games to hate me though. Um, let's see. But from what I've seen in Nuka World so far, there is a Nuka T51 power armor in the World of Refreshments. There is the XO1 power armor in the Galactic Zone. That's locked away till you can fix the mainframe. And then I had seen a suit of XO1 armor, but it only had 2 pieces to it, like the torso and the helmet, I think. But I don't remember where I seen it. And then there's another set of XO1 power armor set for the left leg, and that is this little. It's in this house that you discover that's on the map, and it's near the little town of Bradperton. It's in the northern part of the map. And then the power plant, it has a full set of X01 power armor. And then there's also a Nuka with red rocket stop gas station thing that can be made into the workshop, but you need to turn on the power to the park in order to get the workshop to actually start working. But you can use it to repair your power armor, so you can get the power back online. But yeah, that is so far my experience with Nuka World so far. So hopefully I can have more on that later. So thanks and bye.
Hey, that is so awesome. Thank you so much, Brianna. Brianna, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. But that's great. Thank you for sending in your audio feedback and your thoughts. And again, this is after, so, too late if you've already just listed that, but spoilerific like crazy, right, guys? But I don't mind listening to stuff before I play it. I've never been a huge, I don't get been out of shape about spoilers. But yeah, so I jotted down just a couple notes when I was listening to Brown play. I'm actually playing over here by myself, and I have a couple of thoughts just about my own game a little bit too. Brianna, again, getting into the beta, how do you do that? Can you teach me your secret? Because I want in. I want that early access, that coveted early access. That's so awesome. So it looks like the raiders, there's 3 different sets of raiders that some guy has brought into the park to take over the park, but he thought he needed 3 different bands for some reason. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold, so if I have to cough or something, we'll just pretend that doesn't happen, and you'll forgive me. Like, I feel one in my throat right now, so it'll strike at any moment. But so we got the disciples, the operators, and the pack. And as I was listening to Brianna's feedback, I have just for the first time gone in and met the pack. And oh, you guys have to go in and meet these guys. I love the headdresses. When I was right before I got in there, I was listening to Harlan's feedback and then Brianna's feedback, and they both mentioned the pack. And I was like, oh man, these are the animals. And then you guys heard me right in between their feedback. I mentioned something about Yao Guais or something. And then I walked into this pack has during Brianna's feedback. And then I'm so pleasantly surprised about the environment that's going on in there. Yes, the pack. Oh man, good stuff. I cannot wait to start getting my hands on their weird animal helmets, especially the gorilla with the ram horns. Oh, that looks so cool. Sign me up. I want in. The Inquisitor's cowl will definitely have to take a rest on the mannequin if I can get a gorilla head with goat horns, because that just looks B.A. as Dale would say. So I just had a load screen, obviously added by the DLC, and it had a pack raider, and that was the first time I saw the gorilla mask with the ram horns. So awesome. Good stuff. Brianna mentioned a bug that she was having, but I think she just posted the other day in the Facebook group that she had solved that bug that she was describing. So problem's over, everyone. Nothing to see here. Walk away. Walk away. Again, I wrote down the pack animal mask. God, they must have really made an impression on me if I mentioned them like 3 times already, right, guys? Oh, I love that stuff. So cool. It's going to be the new Nordhagen Beach, I can tell you. the power quest. Oh, this is what she was saying was bugged, was the power quest. I thought she was saying an elevator was bugged in the Facebook group the other day, but then she found the elevator button or something. But the power quests, yeah, she was saying you have to restore power in order to get access to, was it the Red Rocket? I don't even remember what location she was saying it was in. But you have to restore power to the park, and then you get access to, it must have been the Red Rocket gas station where you start your workbench there. That's really cool. Again, guys, I will mention the Conquest mod. If you just want to build kind of wherever you want, the Conquest mod is great for, you can establish a workbench pretty much anywhere in the game. I haven't done one in Nuka World yet, but I can see that I'm probably going to do one in just the entryway or downtown there, so I can do a little bit of building, because that sounds like fun. Both Harlan and Brianna, sorry again, mentioned keys and locking stuff. But as Victor has mentioned time and time again, and I will again back him up on this, so I'm going to take a drink real quick. Oh, I endorse Cherry Coke highly, everyone. But as Victor has said time and time again, and I will also endorse the statement, they're pretty good about not having part of the main story be prevented access due to like a locked door or a terminal that cannot be hacked. I tried and tried. I brought Kate with me, and then I sent her away because I wanted to try without her. And I did manage to get all the way through the gauntlet without needing any sort of lock-picking skill or hacking skill. They do hide passwords for you. They hide a couple of keys for you in different places. You need to be quick and nimble and on your toes and ready to fight quickly and silently. And maybe bring a hazmat suit with you for the gauntlet at least. And I know that Harlan mentioned another portion of the park, like the whole area of that park. Lots of radiation, so bring a hazmat or power armor suit with you. I kind of like my more than power armor, I kind of like a hazmat suit with ballistic weave, with the the highest level of ballistic weave. I think that's almost even better than power armor. Just 'cause I don't like power armor anyway, guys. But good for you guys who like it. I know Harlan was running around in power armor. Good for you. That's awesome. But so yeah, you really don't need the key, and you don't need any passwords. You can do all that stuff without a lock bot, without a hack bot, without Kate, without Nick, and all that. So I was just playing a few minutes ago, and I had a crash to desktop, which I guess is a PC term, but I had a crash to Xbox One homepage, however you say that in your cool internet lingo. But I am running some mods too, so it might not be the most stable thing. I know that there was a rumor going around that they should disable all mods before going into Nuka World, but I decided to brave it, and I'm having, for the most part, a great time. I had not had any trouble until the crash that I had just had a few minutes ago. So speaking of power armor that we just were just a second ago, Brianna mentioned, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 different sets. I couldn't keep track. She was bringing up so many different power armors. X1, here and there. There's a full set over at the power plant. So there's one at the Galactic Zone. You have to fix some sort of mainframe. I don't know. I couldn't keep up. Brianna, so much power armor. How do you keep up, girl? So we'll go ahead and use this opportunity to wrap up the show. There's a great representation of what listener feedback can be, guys. So I encourage everyone, please, to write into the Fallout Feed at thefalloutfeed@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at the Fallout Feed. And we get really inventive with how we name stuff over here. If you'd like to join the roundtable, I encourage you to do that pretty soon here. We will have the ability to post the spreadsheet online so you guys can roll your own random stats whenever you want, and you don't have to be like, Andrew, hurry, I need my stats now. I'm in the desert without water, but I need stats more than water. Give me stats. But you don't have to do that anymore because you'll be able to roll your own stats whenever you want. I think we've got it figured out. Big shout out to Marcus who's helping us out with that little project. He's looking into our spreadsheet and fixing it. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Big shout out to him. Anyway, before we sign off, I'd also like to mention that on October 29th, hopefully this episode will be airing before then. We're a little backlogged on episodes. Sorry, folks. October 29th, we're doing our Cystic Fibrosis Foundation benefit. If anyone knows or is familiar with our family of shows here at ASA Podcasting, it's a cause that's near and dear to our hearts. My son, Moses, was born with cystic fibrosis, and also one of our mainstays here at ASA Podcasting. He does the Game Talk show, and he's a member of the ASA Roundtable community that does the Fallout Roundtable, and he'll also be doing the Skyrim Roundtable here when that comes up this fall/winter. Keep your eyes peeled. Jeremy also has the cystic fibrosis cause near and dear to his heart as well. So if you are interested at all, we are doing a benefit where we'll be raffling off some really cool items that Michael has gotten at Comic-Con this summer, and we have some other Fallout and Bethesda and Skyrim and other general gaming merchandise and prizes and stuff like that. Good for raffling, so we can raise some money for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. So if you're interested in that, please hit us up at thefalloutfeed@gmail.com if you'd like to look for more information. Again, that's October 29th. We'll be going from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. We'll be streaming podcasts all day and streaming live stuff on Twitch, so you can find us all over the place, all over the internet that day. And wow, at the cause of going way too long here, I'll go ahead and sign off for this evening. You can find us on the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/A Skyrim Addict Podcast, and join the roundtable. It's Fallout Roundtable at gmail.com, asapodcasting.com for all other information. And I am trying to sign off here, and I always do this, guys. I never have the outro queued up when I need it ready to go. Such a professional show over here. So again, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning into this episode of the Fallout it's not the Roundtable, dummy. The Fallout feed. I'd like to thank everyone for listening, and we will see you in the wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, the Skyrim Addict Podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.